first coming in last. Went to the bank, happy alive. Nigga fuck love, rather by rap. Nigga fuck love, rather by rap.
Episode 49 of Woodcrest Certified coming at you here, baby. Yo, guys, we're almost at 50. We're almost at 50. Crazy.
There was a hater in here, too.
There was a hater in here? What are you talking about?
I see 3.
Chris thought we was going to only do 3, and 49 episodes later.
Here we are, baby.
I'm still convinced we're only going to do 3.
Still here, word is right.
This nigga a demon, like.
I know.
Whose man's is this?
Yeah, but here we are. Episode 49. Got a lot to talk about today. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what y'all think.
Please.
And if there's something, please.
Help me.
Help me. Give me a topic.
Help me.
I know Chris's back is tight, bro. You kind of carrying us on his back with the topics a little bit. And then Pete, obviously, you have your good ones too. I be talking about whatever y'all be talking about. You know? But anyway, I finally watched Thor: Love and Thunder. I know it's been a grip. I'm kind of late to it, but I just watched it this weekend. Me and my girl were watching it in the living room. I understand why David was saying, "Oh, it's like a little cute movie."
It's
So,
cute.
it's cute. But yeah. So talking about that, how do you guys think it was? You know, when you comparing these Thor movies, Love and Thunder to Ragnarok, what are your thoughts on that?
On paper, they should be just as good as one another. I mean, all right, so like I had a lot of expectations for Love and Thunder because you got the Guardians, you got Jane Foster, which I thought was a really fucking cool character. Jane Foster is Thor. And then they ended they included the whole cancer thing, which I thought was really fucking cool. Like she, you know, whatever. And then Christian Bale as the bad guy, like yo, Christian Bale in anything is, you know, elevates whatever movie. But then I watched the movie and it's just like it's fine. I look at the format of it, and then I look at the format of Ragnarok, and I'm like, why is one of the best Marvel movies? And why is the other just meh?
Yeah.
Like it's a unit of measurement.
Yeah. Bro, like the opening, not the opening scene exactly, but like that opening fight when it's like Thor is kind of like doing his hippie thing almost, and then he takes off that shit and he looks like some fucking rocker now. That shit kind of lost me. Like right away, I was like, "The fuck is this?" Like straight up from the beginning, dude look like damn, I can't even think of like some white boy rock star from the past. I'm drawing a blank.
He looks like fucking. You ever seen The Big Lebowski? Well, I guess they used that already. That's what the fuck he looks like.
When he was the fat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No body shaming, bro.
No.
Yeah. I didn't say it was a problem. I'm not. Yeah, it's not.
It's a very specific aesthetic, you know.
Yeah, it's not a problem, you know. All shapes matter, you know. So like, it's all good. I'm just saying, like, that's what he was at the time.
Why did Christian Bale overact in that movie? Like I felt like he could have been a movie in itself. Like he didn't match the aesthetics of the movie. Like
really?
Nah.
I liked Christian Bale's part.
This shit was very dark. That's what I got.
What I think it was, like, I agree with you and I disagree with you at the same time. I think Christian Bale was the only one who was actually acting in this movie.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying.
So it wasn't even that he was overacting. He was just the only person who was acting. Everybody else is kind of just like there. Like it seemed like they were just there to have a good time, which is cool, I guess. But
like low key, Chris Hemsworth. Wow. I just felt like Thor was just Chris Hemsworth or whatever, however the fuck you say his name. Like he just was showing up to work as himself and was running around with an axe, you know.
But then Thor the God butchered one god. You only see him butcher one god, and then Nothing. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was
yeah,
like, why call him a god butcher when you don't see him do anything else outside of that guy in the beginning?
yeah. I mean,
Right.
they talked
Yeah, they
about it.
referenced it
Yeah,
like
they
him killing
talked
other
about
gods,
it,
but yeah,
killing
they
all
didn't
these other
show
people.
it.
But I agree, it would have been cool to see him
Yeah, they
and
should have
how he
showed it
maneuvered.
though.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Like
Thinking back, I don't think he had enough screen time. This should have
no,
been like a little more of Bale.
that's my problem with this movie. That's my problem with a lot of these fucking Phase 4 movies. Is that I feel like there's this delicate balance between like showing and not showing. So a problem with the early superhero movies, like the ones of the 2000s, is that they fucking like it fucking took forever to get to anything. Like we got to find out how Daredevil goes blind, and then we got to find out he learns how to take a piss, and we got to learn who his girlfriend is and where he works. And an hour and 45 minutes later, we finally get to the plot, right?
yeah,
Uh, these newer movies are kind of yada yadaing a lot of things, and it works to the benefit, but there's a balance that you have to strike. And I feel like when it comes to Love and Thunder, they went too far in the other direction, where like the Lady Thor thing is a really interesting thing, but I feel like they kind of just sprinkled it in there. It felt kind of, to me, it felt really forced.
mm,
Um, I'm actually kind of mad that we're not going to see more movies with her. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I get it. Natalie Portman wasn't about to do a 4-year contract, but like, damn, like that's just an interesting story, and like they kind of made a couple jokes about it, and then they just fucking killed her.
yeah.
No, but she gave her life, didn't she? That was my understanding.
No,
You
I
Yeah,
mean,
she
talking
gave
about
her
like in
life.
the writing, right? Like,
yeah, like
there was all this debacle like beforehand about her not being in other movies just because of like I think what was it, like contractual issues or some shit.
it was
Um,
bad writing. It was bad writing.
yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So she didn't like what was going on, and then they finally bring her back, and then they killed her. Like, so
Yeah,
she's
like they
no
kind of just
longer
like
in the MCU type
they
shit.
like kind of dismissed her. And the same thing David is saying about Christian Bale's character or Peterson is like that's another really interesting thing, but it's like it kind of felt like a very background thing. It was like, okay, like we're gonna get to him eventually, and then we got to him, and then cool.
yeah,
That's
because in
what's
the
like,
comic books, Gore the God Butcher is the menace. Like he up there with like Thanos and shit, and they didn't even show that. Like,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
that's what this
dude.
movie should have been. This movie should have been like Infinity War, where
Yeah.
like they basically focused on him, and then Thor is kind of like a background character. That would have been a better thing. But and then another thing that I have, it's the same problem that I have with like animes, where like they give you an interesting character, but their origins are so fucking like cartoonish. So like the guy is like at the very beginning, he's like crawling through the desert, and he's like, my daughter died or whatever. And then the god is like, ha ha ha, you're pathetic, you're an asshole. And it's like it's like we get a sort of compelling character, but we have to sacrifice like a fucking mustache twirling villain. It's like I don't know. I don't like that either. Like
yeah, they could have made that movie like on paper, like y'all said. It should have been a fucking excellent movie, but then they just like didn't deliver. It was just like, here y'all go. Like whatever, however y'all feel about this fucking movie, that's what it's gonna be. Like,
yeah, it just felt like a fucking 2-hour commercial. Like
yeah,
like I hate when, and the thing is that like I was really excited because like the Guardians of the Galaxies have like a lot of heavy hitters in their rotation. Like we're seeing like the main cast, but they have like other people who are really fucking strong. And I
Mhm.
figured like now that you're introducing Thor, we're gonna be introduced to guys like Adam Warlock, and we're gonna see these other people. But then like they give you like 10 minutes of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they tell them to fuck off. And it's especially frustrating because Hemsworth and Chris Pratt have such great chemistry together. I love like their fucking interactions are hilarious.
Yeah.
And I honestly hate what I'm doing right now. Like I hear these fucking fanboys talk about Endgame, and they're like, I wish we got to see Hulk smash more. And I'm like, I'm like, dude, it's a 3-hour movie. Like, you want another 45 minutes of Hulk destroying a car? Like, that's fucking stupid. But that's only when because Endgame doesn't really have anything that I would want to remove. Like they gave me a really good product, so it's like okay, like Hulk smashing would have been cool, but you gave me something even better. In this case, there's so much sitting right there. It's just like Multiverse of Madness, where we have the Illuminati, and I think the Illuminati is a cool ass concept.
Yeah.
And then they fucking kill them off in 5 minutes. And it's like, okay. and then the rest of the movie is fucking the Olsen twins chasing Doctor Strange. It's like, okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, I thought that movie was. Maybe I was a little confused. Maybe I didn't understand it, but I finished watching the Multiverse of Madness, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, I mean, I was, yeah, but
I feel like what they doing in these next 2 phases, like I think they're trying to set up the big event too quick. Like they just throwing shit in there because all those movies that we just named is literally supposed to set up the Kang Dynasty, but like allow these movies to be themselves before you get to this. You feel me? Like you can't just sprinkle them in there just so we could get to this point. Like,
It's
and
a
then
bad recipe.
you know what I'm saying? Then a lot of these movies is like, what's killing me about that, even with some of the TV shows, like, they all don't have to be fucking comedies, bro. Like, the fuck. If there was a comedy, I could go watch Kevin Hart or fucking Dave Chappelle or Cat Williams or a whole bunch of these other motherfuckers. Just make them superhero movies, niggas. Like, fuck.
Yeah. So it's just Marvel like had so many like on every like in every level besides we got to this phase 4, like I felt like they did a great job with the comedy, right? Where like it was good, it wasn't like it didn't seem forced, it didn't seem childish for the most part, right? Like it kind of just flowed with the characters, right? It was just good. And now they're like, "Oh, we see how people like this funny shit, so let's make it extra funny, right?" And
spamming that shit.
yeah, and it's like it's honestly a tough position for fucking Thor, right? Because like in the beginning, the movies were trash, like they were just so slow, so serious, like terrible. Then Ragnarok comes out and it's like a new flavor to him, where like there is kind of more comedy to it. He's kind of like transforming himself as like a different character. And then now this one is just like on way OD on the other side of things now.
And Thor is not even a funny character. Like,
Nah, he's not. They had to make him funny because the other 2 movies were so fucking terrible.
yeah.
Like
He's stoic as fuck like Superman.
Right. He's very. I'll say he's like in between Superman and Kratos. Like he's like somewhere in between those two.
Yeah. Right.
You know, like he's like an overly serious kind of. You know, like they more make fun of him than he makes jokes. But like my fear is that a lot of these films might just be one trick ponies, and I feel like there's a couple examples of this. Like you have the 2 week Thor movies, and then they make Ragnarok, and Ragnarok was really fucking cool. Like they had the 80s aesthetic, and it was really colorful, and it was funny. And then they tried the same thing again with Love and Thunder, and they fall on their face. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, really interesting story. Makeshift characters. Again, they use the music to kind of flow the movie. It's a very unique movie, and it worked really well. And then they tried it again in the second movie, and they fell on their face. And then you got Ant-Man, which was supposed to be like this unique heist comedy thing, and it worked. It was funny. Then Ant-Man 2 happened, and it wasn't bad, but it was just like, this is okay. Like, I feel like I've seen this already.
The next one looks like it's going to be hard, though.
Right. I thought Love and Thunder and Multiverse of Madness were also going to be hard. So,
like, you didn't like the
I'm looking
second
at
Guardians?
Black Panther, bro. Huh?
You didn't like the second Guardians?
No.
Really? I thought it was alright.
He said that shit quick as fuck, too.
He's like, no.
Like, I don't think any of these movies besides like Iron Man 2 and Thor 2 are bad movies. It's just that, like,
when
compare
when
like
you stack them against the other ones, like the heavy hitters, it falls off
it's like
tremendously.
I don't think I'll ever watch Love and Thunder again. Like that, it's one of those. Like,
dang, really? Oh man, I'm the opposite. I've already seen that shit like 3 times.
God damn, this man must have a hard on for Valkyrie or something. Like I don't see it.
No, to my understanding, she's a lesbian.
That's even better.
What?
Cool. But I like the whole ending of it because I had asked Pete one time because so at the end the Christian Bale gives his life for his daughter, and then she hangs out with Thor, the
Thor.
god of thunder, and then she's made of he sacrificed himself in the name of love, right? Because that's what they convinced him to do at the end.
Yeah.
So is she the goddess of love, and they make their love and thunder? Is that what that means?
No.
I didn't think that hard into it. I don't know.
I did think that shit was corny too. David just brought it up. He was like, "I'm choosing love." I was like,
yeah, that was a bit. Yeah,
like you could have accomplished that by saying something differently, you know? Like I felt like he did good. Where it's like, look, this is your chance to bring her back. You do that. I'm gonna take care of my girl. And then he's like, "I'm choosing love." And I was like,
nice guy.
They really stuck their neck out. It's just one of those things. It's like when in Endgame, when all the girls came out, like there's probably a small group of people who really fucking like that scene, and then everybody else is just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, but in Endgame, when all the girls came out, it made sense because they setting up like the Marvels. I think that's what it's called, where all the female characters come together and create their own little shit. Like,
are they though?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna cut you off and disagree violently because that shit was fucking stupid.
No, but it was. I'm not. No. You're not listening to me. I didn't say it was good. I said it made sense. And this one is just like, what is y'all doing, bro? Like, it's just it don't make sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just stupid.
They need to bring back Iron Man.
I give. Yo, and what's crazy is that Iron Man is also in the Illuminati, and we're not going to get Iron Man, but I think we're going to get Iron Heart in fucking Black Panther 2.
Mm-hmm.
If that movie's bad, I'm going to go to downtown Orlando and I'm going to cause property damage.
That's hilarious, but okay.
But Black Panther 2, I think would be good because Ryan Coogler is directing that, and he don't be playing all that extra funny bullshit. Like he be trying to get his shits on point. So I think that one.
And what other movie do we have of him?
Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
He did like Fruitvale Station, not Marvel movies. Like
like what's the other movies?
Fruitvale Station, Creed, Black Panther.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like Fruitvale Station.
Yeah, that's wild.
I
love that.
I think Creed is good. I think Creed is good.
I like.
I've seen Fruitvale Station like 40 times, literally. Like,
I might just have to watch it. I seen it once and I thought it was kind of forced, but that was a while ago. Maybe I gotta watch it again. I'll give it another shot.
That was the true story. I'm lost.
Wait, Creed isn't real?
No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Oh man! All right, so going off of that, switching into the sports world of things. Chris brought up an interesting question, and I mean, there's a lot of exciting shit going on right now in the NBA, like a lot of exciting teams, and it's an interesting time because at some point this year, a lot of them are going to start tanking just for this Victor guy, but until then, you know, who do you guys, if you had to rank like the most exciting teams to watch, in the NBA right now, like who are you going with?
Let's make this easy. Let's make this. Don't include your own team. So, like, just rank the other 29 teams. I think we can all agree the Warriors are like 1, 2, or 3.
I have them 1.
I watched them yesterday, bro. Fuck Klay Thompson.
I think we can all agree the Warriors are probably like number 1. I'll say like Memphis is like number 2.
New Orleans, man. New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Brooke, you not to divert, which will probably end up happening because I'm going to say this, but you said a lot of teams will tank for Victor Wembanyama. I think you're using a lot rather loosely there when you say that.
I mean, how many teams do you think would tank?
A handful, 2 maybe at most. Not even 2, bro. Like, there's there's arguably like there's gonna be 10 teams like winning records on both sides.
I think some teams are just gonna naturally be bad. Like I don't think the Houston Rockets are gonna be tanking. They're just gonna be bad.
Dude, they got destroyed this weekend. I'll tell you that.
But they're excitement. Yeah,
What was
exciting
that?
teams. Yeah, Memphis definitely up there. New Orleans. The
I gotta put the
Clippers. Now
Celtics,
that they're
bro.
healthy.
Oh yeah, the Clippers are up there, bro. Like Jason Tatum is must-watch TV, bro. Like
Fuck
Jason Tatum and
Boston.
Jalen Brown, fucking a, bro. Like
Fuck Boston.
must-watch TV.
Yeah, man. I freaking. They were in town this past Sunday. I was like, Adrian, you want to go see the Celtics play? This man said no. I was
Damn.
like, all right.
Should
And
have
Jason
made him.
Tatum went for like 40 that game.
Yeah.
He was
I feel like
fucking.
he's going. I feel like him and John Morant are going for 40 every single night, bro. Like every time I turn on the app, it's like Jason Tatum and John Morant went for 40. Like,
Yeah.
Dallas too. Dallas is really exciting with Luca. I mean,
Dude, Luca is a lot of
Luka's
fun to
special,
watch, bro. I like watching it. So like when seeing Luca live, like it doesn't make sense, right? A lot of the shit that he sees and like the passes that he makes. And actually speaking of like crazy passes, I was watching I saw this clip on Twitter of Jokic. He had this crazy ass pass when dude was like on the top of the key and like his entire head was this way and he just whipped that bitch to the left corner three and whoever it was drilled that shit. Like dude, I like watching Luca and Jokic play because they're really good passers. It's just also frustrating to watch them play because more often than not they're giving us buckets when we play against them. But they're fun to watch.
my problem with the Mavericks is that outside of Luca, there's like really nobody else I like watching. That's my only problem with the Mavericks.
I watched
Dude,
him play against
Christian
Phoenix
Wood
and Christian
now?
Wood, bro.
Christian Wood
He scored like
snaps, bro.
15
Oh yeah, I
straight. I was
forgot
like,
Woods.
what
I
the fuck?
forgot Woods is out there. Yeah, I forgot Woods is out there. I
Bro,
haven't seen
I'm
him play this.
so upset, man.
Bro,
He was literally in the
he
Bucks
took off on
team.
Phoenix.
He was literally on the Bucks roster. We
What
had
are
him
they talking
on our G League team. He fucking won the G League Player of the Year. We had him playing games for us, and we're like, go ahead, be free, and just let him fucking go. Just cut him for
Get over it,
nothing,
bro.
dude. He's a fucking hooper, bro.
Be like that,
He
man.
is.
Y'all lost Brogdon. Y'all lost Bogey.
Well, Brogdon
But
won it out. Bogey, I can't
y'all
speak
niggas,
on that because of certain employment
the
issues, but
niggas,
that's very frustrating.
Milwaukee's so stacked talently, they just let niggas walk. Apparently,
It's tough
That
because
part.
is tough because Christian plays like the 4-ish is probably like his best role. Like he plays the 5 a little bit, but you know when you go small ball, I mean Giannis is like obviously he's the 4.
Christian
He's
Wood's
really
a
good.
nice small ball five, but
Yeah,
that
I
was
don't
right in
know.
that lineup with him at the five.
the
Yeah,
thing is, y'all would not have been able to resign him anyway, so it doesn't even like really matter. Like
probably.
this is probably like the best path for Christian Wood to have taken.
Yeah, but anyway, on exciting teams though, I mean I like motherfuckers that could shoot, and so like seeing Dame snap right now, like I love watching that.
Oh man,
And
Dame,
dude,
I
so
wouldn't
what?
say the Portland Trailblazers are more exciting than the Suns, though. I'll say the Suns are more exciting.
No, but Dame himself is more exciting than like Chris Paul for the
Yeah,
Suns. Or
and Devin Booker. Devin Booker don't dunk on enough people for me, bro. Like
yeah, see
nobody.
that's where
I'm
we're
not.
different. Because exciting for me is like shot creation and shot making, and you're like
It's
about
like
the athleticism shit.
everybody does, or like I don't know. I just want to see people get dunked on. It's because I'm a Dwayne Wade fan, bro. Like that's what the guy would do, bro. Like he's taking that shit to the rim. He's splitting double teams on the perimeter, and if he's not dunking on it, he's he was jelly fan or well before that shit was a thing. Like finishing at the rim, like I think it's more impressive to get to the rim because you got to beat multiple people. Like nowadays, you can watch anybody dance on the perimeter and hit a step back. But
Yeah, but
no,
that's
that
just
shooting
like
shit.
mad exciting.
When they make it, it's like what the fuck, like yeah, man.
Exactly. It's like what the fuck.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot. I feel like you get more of what you're into than what I'm into nowadays.
Probably so. When they're healthy, which is a rarity nowadays. But when they're healthy, the Hornets are fun to watch. They usually like last year they were putting up mad points.
but yeah, Lamelo's must watch TV. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lamelo's up there. He's
yeah.
must
We're
watch.
just naming all the teams.
No, we're not.
You got one
No,
really
no.
good guy, but it's like we've already named.
Nah,
like
but we
the
got
other
like
10.
I honestly don't think we've named 10 teams. And like I really thought of this. I'm watching Miami and Toronto play, and Miami's pretty dope. I really like watching Tyler Hero. The mandatory like free throw two-handed dunk Bam has to have contractually every single game is pretty fucking cool. and obviously watching Jimmy bully people is cool. Kyle Lowry like knocks you guys down a couple notches because that nigga's not fun to watch at all.
Yo,
that nigga's so annoying.
He just be out there, bro.
I wish you guys started Gabe Vincent, man. Like I don't ever want to see Kyle Lowry again. Like I don't want to see.
I'm in agreement, bro. Like,
nah, I want him to trade for Westbrook.
And then I'm watching y'all play Toronto, and Toronto got Siakam, who might have the ugliest game an NBA player has ever had ever. You know, like I don't like watching Toronto. I respect what they do. I like how they develop their players. I like how disciplined they are. But goddamn, I do not like watching them motherfuckers play. Like Fred VanVleet is not enough to make them entertaining to watch.
Yeah. True. Dude, I remember like a couple of years back too, people were like, yo, Siakam is gonna be like the next Giannis, but with a shot. And then like watch this, give him a couple more years. And bitch has been a couple more years and he is not that.
Bro, like I hate to sound like a hater, but Siakam really feels like he's as skilled as like a decent guy at LA Fitness, but he's like 6'10". Like that's really like
I don't know. You might be reaching, but
yeah, that's amazing.
I recognize that that's a hateful statement to make, but like when I be watching, that's what my brain be saying. Like I don't think this guy's that good. Like I don't
know. On the Miami front, what I would say, what I like is their sets. Their sets to me are interesting to watch because it's like ridiculous to me how I feel like when they run their sets correctly, they manage to always find motherfuckers open. Like Coach Spo is a fucking genius, right? And being able to create plays, especially out of bounds plays. I like watching his late game out of bounds shit or like just in general. Like I do like that about Miami, but besides that, they're fucking trash and I don't like it, so. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest.
Going on ahead.
Yeah, my bad. All right, I'm sorry. I'm
done. Another team that is enjoyable just by proxy, by default, is the Brooklyn Nets. Like Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Like I gotta watch them niggas play.
Yeah.
Even if it's just Kyrie walking around with his incense, like it's entertaining.
Yeah. Are you guys like shocked at all by Philly right now?
Oh yeah, Philly's another one. Wait, why am I shocked about Philly?
They haven't won yet. They're like what, 0-3, 0-4?
Yeah.
No, they're like 3-1 right now.
No, they're 0-3, dog.
The 76ers of Philadelphia are not 3-1.
They just won right now, nigga.
Oh, so they're 1-3.
1-3, dog.
That's their first win. Miami's about to be 1-3. Oh no, Miami is 1-3 now. They lost to Toronto.
Hold on.
Oh, they just beat Indiana. Yeah, they're 1-3, bro.
Oh, they're 1-3.
Yeah.
They lost to the Bucks. They lost to the Celtics, and they lost to the fucking.
I am dyslexic.
The Spurs. They lost to the Spurs.
Yeah, they lost to the Spurs. I forgot about that.
No, but they lost to the Celtics, which was the Celtics are really good.
Bucks,
and then the Bucks was a respect. So really, the Spurs
without
is the
only, Chris Middleton though, and Drew Holiday shooting 2 for fucking 18 type shit.
David about to snap.
Like I said in the group chat, I was surprised that the Bucks won again without Chris Middleton and with Drew Holiday being Bunza Houlihan, right?
Bro,
like it was bad, and
the
Bucks won. Wow. So like,
it's not even worth it.
I'm surprised on that one. I didn't think that Philly should have lost that. I'm happy they did, obviously, but.
That's y'all MVP, man. That's the league's MVP right there. Fucking Joel Embiid's trash ass.
He's not trash, bro.
Damn, Harden had 29, 9, and 11. Harden might be the best player on their team right now this season.
Harden has been snapping.
Yeah. Dude, his little fucking death, taxes, and James Harden left hand float in the lane, bro. When he gets like a foot before the restricted circle, that's just butter every single time.
Bro, every single time. So many people have that in their game, bro. The floaties is like, I'll be watching a game and it's like floaties, you know, like that's
bro. But I feel like the consistency of it though, like I'm telling you, that shit's going in 9 out of 10 times with James. With fucking Trey Young is another one where that shit's like 8 out of 10 times that shit's butter. Those are the two
Nah,
that because I feel like they're doing it the most every
I was
single
watching.
game.
I was watching De'Aaron Fox the other night, and he has that in his back too. He's with De'Aaron Fox. You asked that question, Chris, about Fox and
Tyrese Maxey and Fox.
Hero, bro. De'Aaron Fox clears, bro.
How's he? I don't know about no clear, bro. Like
De'Aaron
I really
Fox.
think Tyrese Maxey can score at the same level as De'Aaron Fox. Plus, he has a fucking lethal jump shot, and he's faster.
De'Aaron, I'm taking De'Aaron Fox in all those categories, bro.
Yeah, because you.
I mean, you already know De'Aaron Fox is one of the fastest players in the league. Tyrese Maxey, he's definitely up there as well. But it's like De'Aaron Fox has been there.
Shit. Like it's
I'm
actually.
pretty sure Maxey's the fastest person in the league, but like that nigga be moving, like he's like the Flash.
Bro, he's like Sonic out there, dog. He's just gone.
I be like, damn, like is the quality of my TV bad? Like I can't like keep up with
the pixels don't keep up.
What is that? That nigga is fast. And the way he finishes around the rim. And the crazy thing is that he can give you a clean 25, 29. And he can we've already seen him do this with the best perimeter defenders. And he's doing this without number one option shots. Like he's not getting the most shots on his team. Like Tyrese Maxey is the fucking truth, man. He is really fucking good.
Yeah,
I agree. I wanted Miami to draft him, honestly. Like it would have been Hero and Maxey back-to-back years. I think he went right before Miami picked, or maybe it was right after, but it was close. Like I fuck with Maxey, and everything you said is true. But De'Aaron Fox is, I mean, it's not saying much, but he's carrying Sacramento. Like he has to.
He's carrying a team winning 30 games. Shit, you could do that.
No, I can't. So De'Aaron Fox doesn't have the luxury of, Joel Embiid. Or, I mean, Sabonis is decent, but I was watching De'Aaron Fox against the Warriors the other night where the Warriors had 89 in the first half, and De'Aaron Fox was going bucket for bucket with Steph Curry.
Yeah, bro, when you said that he had 89, you also left out that they had fucking 76, right? Like, it's not like they were
a really high scoring game. They were up by like nearly 20 at halftime. It was like 89, 69 or something like that.
No, bro, they had I think it was like 73 because I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that it was that high scoring though when David said that. That shit was funny. Yeah. So all right, let's try it just for this conversation's sake. So we're going. Let's just say Warriors 1. Who would we put 2?
I'm saying Memphis.
You're saying Memphis?
I probably have Memphis before Warriors though. I don't think 1 Warriors is consensus, but that probably just comes down to what you like, what you're into.
You just like seeing Ja dunk, huh?
I like seeing Ja chase people down and fucking block centers and shit. I like that shit too.
I mean, come on, bro. It's not like the fact that, like, all right, so we got Curry and Ja Morant. And we can argue which one is more entertaining to watch. If you told me John Morant, I wouldn't argue with you. But damn, you also got
Steph. Like what?
You got, and like the Warrior style of basketball, I feel is a lot.
It's so much fun to watch. Yeah.
Like I don't think anybody's like, man, I gotta go watch Jaren Jackson play, even though he's always hurt.
Damn, Bane. I gotta see Bane shoot. Like, nah.
Yeah,
I want to watch the Splash Brothers.
Yeah,
and Jordan Poole will be snapping too.
It's objectively the Warriors.
This guy, that's fine.
Jordan Poole is so motherfucking shifty, bro. Like he's like the Super Saiyan version of an LA Fitness nigga. Like
he's the one that's like back home. He's D1, but it's like the summertime and he's in the gym and shit. And it's just like, dude, like, why are you here at this time, bro?
Like people are not getting shots. It's wild because like Curry, like it's like different levels. Like where you like Curry's doing shit and you're like, no coach would be okay with this. And Jordan Poole is like, I feel like doing not the same things, but he's getting the same reaction where the coach kind of stands up, the shot goes in, but the coach is still mad. Like, what the fuck? Why did you do
that? Yeah. I feel that. I was listening to like because Clay was on All the Smoke, and he was talking to them about Jordan Poole, and he was saying how like Jordan Poole and Steph are almost this is Clay saying it. He's saying that they're like almost identical with their shit. in their style of play. Which, give or take, I mean, obviously Steph has way more range, but I could kind of see elements of Steph's game in Jordan Poole's.
Yeah, some stuff. I think they both have like a unique style of play. Like, I mean, whatever. Like, Clay shouting out both of his teammates. Shout out to Clay. That's what's up.
Yeah, I fuck with Clay, man. Hey, I'm kind of diverting here. What's the deal with Duncan Robinson on the Heat? Like, why is he not getting any burn?
He is.
Because he's the second best shooter in the league.
He is.
That's honestly how I
I'll
got
stand by
there.
that.
Like, I wasn't trying to say that, right, to bring up that
Say
whole
it.
debate.
I said it.
But
I said
that's
Duncan
how I got
Robinson
there because I was like,
is the
yeah, this
best
fucking
shooter
guy
in the league.
David had him better than Klay Thompson at shooting. But
Klay
nigga's
Thompson's
the
not
second
shooting
best
shit this year, bro.
Duncan Robinson is the greatest shooter to not get minutes.
He do get minutes though, bro. So it's like, nah,
Yeah,
Barely.
the Caleb Martin
For
plus
now.
some guy.
yeah, bro.
he's like the eighth, he's like the ninth man right now.
yeah, what's the
at
deal?
the moment.
He was starting 2 years ago.
I mean, they found another
What I
guy that can
told
just do the same shit.
Bro, what I told you is like you hit the nail on the head. Like Miami finds like Coach Spo he's gonna open the floor up for his shooters and he's gonna make it a lot easier for them to get open shots. So a guy shooting like 45% in Miami is gonna be shooting like 38% anywhere fucking else.
35.
We've already
bro.
seen this shit. Like we've already seen this shit. Like I was hoping Duncan Robinson got traded so that we could fucking see this guy average fucking 11 points a game somewhere else. Like that's what I wanted to see.
I'll trade him with Kyle Lowry to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook.
Dude,
They can have Kyle Lowry
listen,
and Duncan Robinson for Russell
Bro.
Westbrook.
No, I'm not gonna lie though. Like I feel like Russell Westbrook and Spo's hands would turn into like a guy
he'll be
Dude,
a
we'll
42%
start Gabe
3-point
Vincent.
shooter.
We'll start Gabe Vincent and Russ off the bench with fucking Max Strus and Oladipo and Omer Yurtseven, bro. Like it would work.
Yeah, I think
Bro,
Russ gonna be out the NBA.
I would give the Lakers
Out
a
the
point guard
NBA,
and
no.
a shooter.
Out the Lakers, yes. Out the NBA,
I mean-
no. I don't think he'll be out the NBA soon, but he's definitely gonna be out the Lakers.
what?
I mean, nigga, like this same shit happened to Allen Iverson, and Allen Iverson wasn't this bad. Like,
I mean,
what I'm
like
saying.
You said
well,
Russell
all
Westbrook's
right,
not getting
let
re-signed?
me rephrase that, Pete. I don't think he'll be out of the league soon if he decides to be okay with coming off the bench.
You think
that's-
he gonna be okay with coming off the bench?
I don't know. Last time he tried, I think he kind of faked a hamstring issue.
what I'm saying is, like, let's say this nigga comes off the bench, and he's playing like he is now. Like, would you play? I wouldn't even play him. Like,
Oh, fuck no.
We have
he's not
another
even a
point guard
good
on the
bench
roster.
player.
My train of thought behind that fictional trade is clearing up mad cap space, bro. Last year of Russell Westbrook's deal, we'll take on that 40 whatever million it is. Get rid of Kyle Lowry's new contract that's going to take him into his late 30s. Get rid of Duncan Robinson, who is paid to do this, sit and watch, And
But
next
you just
summer,
say he gets mad minutes.
did I say he gets mad minutes? I
Or
said
you say he gets
minutes.
minutes. But how's he watching if he's getting minutes?
He doesn't play all 48 minutes. I mean, Giannis sits down sometimes, right? It's just Duncan Robinson sits
Well, I mean,
down
no one's
a
playing
lot
all
more than
48
Giannis.
minutes. No, he's not. What? What'd you just say?
I said Duncan Robinson sits more than Giannis.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said he gets more minutes. Sorry.
But I never said Duncan Robinson gets mad minutes. I say he gets minutes.
Whatever. Anyway,
So, making shit up. You fucking-
whatever. Go ahead. Just get the thought out.
I'm just keeping my
Get the
peace,
thought
bro.
out. I mean, I would love for the Heat to get Russell Westbrook because I think it'll be the fall, and I can't wait. And I
We're gonna
truly
fall
believe that.
in the last year of Russell Westbrook's contract. You're ridiculous, dude.
Dude, he is not good.
There's no such.
Like I'm
you think he's gonna
all
plague
that.
Miami?
Yeah.
Why? If you guys play him, unless you
Like,
sit
I feel
on the
like
bench, then nah, y'all be good. But if you're playing them,
like,
yeah.
At this point, it seems like some Trojan horse shit. Like they sent him over there. Like, yeah, bro. Like that clip was crazy. Like of AD and
LeBron, they're both like, what the fuck? They both did the Chris hands. They're like, wait, what? Like,
That
what are you
shit is
doing?
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That Lakers experience. That's one of the most unique things I've ever seen, bro. Like a team that won a championship with 3 Hall of Famers that are still relatively in their prime, just go to just complete shit within 2 years. Like this is bizarre.
Yeah. Hey, do you think? I honestly looking at it or thinking about it, like I don't necessarily think that Palinka is bugging for not wanting to give up his 27 and 29 first round draft picks. I think is what they're talking about to trade him for like Buddy Hield and the center for the fucking Pacers. I can't remember his name. Miles Turner.
I don't understand
Yeah,
why
why
this
would
is
it
such a
be?
like talking point. Like, is Buddy Hield and Miles Turner like really moving the needle that much?
Yes,
I mean,
for them.
it might be addition by subtraction.
they get shooting with Buddy Hield, which the Lakers don't have at all, and then Miles Turner could also stretch the floor, and he's a fucking rim stopper, which they also need. So I 100% think that they fit and will work way better for the Lakers. Now the issue is though, is like I think I understand why Palinko doesn't want to get rid of those picks from fucking 5 years out. Cause like I mean, how many years left do you really think LeBron has, right?
Mm.
I don't think he has like
Bro, he can play
5 to
another
7
5 years easy, bro.
and still be like have the
Easy,
Lakers competing.
easy. I don't know about no easy.
Yeah,
He's what, going on
he's
38?
38, bro.
You think he's gonna be playing at 43?
I mean,
Like you
it's
saying
possible.
easily. So you went from easily
I'm saying
to
like
possible.
physically.
You're sounding like these customers I be selling cars to, nigga. Like,
How old
Can
is
make those
saying,
payments.
I'm saying physically,
Easy.
he
you know,
could go another 5. Bro.
how old is UD? UD like 58?
He doesn't play though.
Hey,
UD is literally just there for fucking
he's
heat
just
culture.
a meme, nigga. And he hasn't even played. It's not even like they just stopped playing him. Like the nigga stopped playing like back in 2016.
Vince
He's
Carter,
that guy though, bro.
Vince
He
Carter
got clout.
played till like 75.
Yeah, Vince
He
Carter
played
played
until he was
what,
like
42,
39, bro.
Yeah.
And he was
No,
playing like
Vince
10
Carter
minutes
played
a
into
game.
his 40s.
He did play into his 40s, but coming off the bench playing maybe what like 20 minutes if that.
Not
think-
even. When he was in Atlanta, he wasn't playing no damn 20 minutes.
Yeah, you think if like all right, so like can LeBron physically play technically till then? Maybe, but not at like this fucking level where he's gonna carry the Lakers to a championship.
Where he's averaging 30 on 50%. You know,
Yeah,
shooting.
like he ain't gonna do that in 5 years, David.
Average 30? Nah, probably not. It'll go down some.
Too bad you're not a GM and you didn't make these type of decisions.
I'll definitely trade my draft picks, bro. Fuck them picks.
Fuck
We'll
them
figure it out.
Yeah, until
So
you don't
what?
have LeBron anymore.
Sorry, we'll figure something out.
All right, fuck it. Oh man, dude, I'm looking here. Vince Carter, like just his last 2 years, 17 and a half minutes in 2018, then 15 minutes in 2019.
How many games did he actually play in?
In 2018, he played in 76 games. And
shit.
20 or
And what was his
2018 and
age?
2019 was 60 games.
Mm.
So
Play decent amount of games.
yeah, I mean when you're playing 18 and 15 minutes, I think you could do it. It's not as taxing to the body, bro. He'd come out the game and he'd have fucking ice and heating pads and all that shit.
It would be hilarious because he'll come into the game like it's like this regular ass moment, and the whole fucking crowd will erupt in applause. Like he got up. That nigga's plus minus is like 30 in the wrong direction. They're happy.
Oh man, facts. All right, we kind of diverted on that one. Yo, Pete brought up he wanted to circle back on a topic that we hit.
Nah, we ain't got
a little
enough
bit ago.
time.
Yeah,
we
we
ain't
do.
got enough time.
We didn't start at exactly the time. We got about like 10 minutes ish. 10, 15. We could go a little over too. Don't worry. Hey, don't worry about it, all right? Don't worry about it, sweetheart. We got
All right,
it.
My bad. Go ahead.
Pete, man, is some come back on something on your chest you want to get off here about all these social media platforms and censoring people again?
First, I'm gonna say something in the beginning because David was like,
Oh,
Dun, dun,
he
dun,
think
dun.
he think that shit is okay, and I was like, that shit could get treacherous. But where I agree with David in a sense, a lot of these platforms is like a job in a sense, especially like YouTube, right? When you boom on YouTube, a lot of reasons why they censor certain shit because they're ads on there. You can't just say wild shit because a lot of these ad companies is not going to allow you to keep promoting these videos because they don't want to be associated with whatever you're talking about, right? But then in the past year alone, outside of Trump, like Kanye is getting booted off of shit. Andrew Tate is getting booted off of shit. And now this dude named Sneeko, I don't know if y'all aware of him, he's getting booted off. It's like, at what point is it okay for them to boot people off of stuff? Because you have music that's talking about killing people in real scenarios because they're using this music to uh, indict people in court and shit like that. So when is it okay and when is it not okay to censor these people? That was
Yeah,
like really my.
Andrew Tate is pretty fucking wild, and so is Kanye. I don't know what the other guy is. Like, I
Yeah,
don't.
I mean, it's not like they're
Andrew
not saying crazy shit though,
But
you know?
but you
Tate is
you
wild.
you ever watch a full Andrew Tate interview?
No.
No.
Okay, then.
Nah,
So
bro.
then
I was
a
seeing
lot of
clips and I was like, I've heard
Wait,
enough, man.
so are you before you finish that thought? Are you saying that if I do finish an interview, I'm gonna be like, this guy's making sense, or
you want to understand more. It's not in order to. And I love that you said that. In order to criticize something, you have to fully understand what you're criticizing. When, right? So I'm not saying I fully agree. Just like with everything, I don't fully agree with damn near everybody in this world. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of people say. There's a lot of shit that fucking our president right now be saying. I'm like, wait a minute, bitch. That's not what you was talking about 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago. But now you're president, so you have to say stuff a little bit different. But I understand where he's coming from because now the position he holds is a little bit stronger than what he had prior, right?
Yeah,
But
but I think it's a little bit different from him like going back on shit he said and like inciting a riot at the Capitol, you know?
no, of course. But Trump didn't cite that right, but that's okay. But what I was saying to that,
Oh,
but what I was saying to that, again, you gotta let me finish the point. You gotta let me finish the point.
look at this.
So he
I just got
physically told him,
lightheaded.
he physically
Oh
told him to
no, he
go in
did.
there.
No, he didn't. He
That's what
didn't.
I'm saying.
We've had this conversation where you can give him some of the responsibility, but you can't say it's his fault. They decided to go over there. So, but continue.
But that's what I'm speaking to. It be a lot of people like David again that see certain clickbait and certain stuff, and then they just go behind and rally behind certain shit without fully understanding it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't think it's dangerous that you could remove people off of these things just because certain people don't like it or don't fully agree with?
I would think it's a lot more dangerous if it was like government shit, right? But these are private companies that can make those decisions because it's their companies. But it's like if the government was like this newspaper can't run this story or this newspaper can't do this, this, and that. Like that would be more worrisome because like isn't the press supposed to be like a way to check the government or whatever? Like that's an
But
official thing.
So let me throw a wrench in
this,
your ideology. Why is it that certain things can still be pressed even though it's detrimental? Maybe not physically, but mentally it's detrimental to certain things that people say. Like it's motherfuckers on social media, fuck all niggas, get their money and take off. That's detrimental to people's psyches, right or wrong.
Right.
let's rally this up because I feel like we're about to spin in this fucking cycle. Do you agree that there's anything that could be said that's worthy of getting you kicked off?
Yes, I
So
agree. It's a lot of things that could be said.
there is a level where you're like, okay, that's too much. And when it comes to Rook's point, like you're saying the press, but nobody reads fucking newspapers. Like Twitter is our newspaper. So like in this case, Twitter canceling you is a lot more dangerous than the government shutting down a newspaper.
Yes. And
So I
then,
think we can all agree on both fronts there.
so now with what you saying, hold that thought. I feel like it's a lot of things that's already been said that's worthy of being canceled, but for some reason they're not being canceled.
Like what?
Like that shit that Cardi B was talking about that I spoke on it. I still how she used to drug niggas up and all that shit, and that shit just went under the rug. That's some
Like,
sick ass shit.
I don't
Got
know.
a movie made out of it.
Because no one cares about men, bro. But you know this.
No, but I'm saying fuck what is. I'm saying what needs to be too. You get what I'm saying? Like that's
All right,
that's
So you think Cardi B should be held accountable for those actions that she took?
Absolutely.
Well,
yes.
Nigga,
Fuck.
what? Yeah. Like, I don't know about I don't know about shutting off her Twitter account, but like, yeah, like Rick Ross talked about putting a pill in a girl's drink.
Oh yeah, that was.
You get what I'm saying?
You didn't even know it. What? Whoa, bro.
You lost
I heard that. I was like, wait a minute, bro. Hold on.
Like Cardi
B
was actually doing this shit, and she's on Snapchat bragging about it. Like, yeah, like this is the shit that I'm on,
and she's still getting promotion deals and shit like that.
Girls are like,
girls are like, movie based on the true action.
Girls are like, wow, this is so empowering. Like, what?
but so Chris, you kind of get what the direction I'm trying to go in, though.
No.
So is that worthy of her being canceled on social media?
Yes, the fuck, nigga, that's detrimental. A lot of these fucking slow ass females is hyping and rallying behind those weird ass statements. Like,
I would like to address P because you came at me earlier. I gotta defend myself. You started talking about people like David, and like people that just hear a snippet and will run with that idea. Like, no, I'm not like that, bro. If I hear a snippet, I'm not interested in it. Like you brought up Andrew Tate, bro. Like I've never seen a full interview of his, but I would see like snippets of interviews of
I've
his
seen a lot
on
of
Instagram. And so I would hear those snippets, and what I would hear in those snippets, I was like, I'm not really interested in hearing more of this. So it's like, and then you talk about you have to understand someone to criticize them. Like, my not wanting to hear more from you isn't a criticism. Like, I'm just not interested in what else you have to say. That
statement is still flawed because then certain people that spew the same shit on the other end, you okay with. That's what I'm saying. Like, not you, not you directly. I'm talking about.
I don't know because earlier you said people like David.
I'm talking about you, nigga. I'm talking about you. Like, I actually agree. No, and I agreed with you last time. Like, I think. I'm very like I'm a robot. So like when you tell me equality, I mean equality. Like you can't just be like this over here and you don't get to selectively choose. You know what I mean? So like I do agree that like these people over here are fucking wild and maybe it's better for our society to fucking just put them to sleep. But
damn.
if
barbaric, bro, that's
where I don't know if it is barbaric. It might be fucking mercy. But
it's like some Thanos shit.
But like where I agree with Pete here is like, okay, if we got this energy for these people, like Cardi B we should have the same energy for Cardi B. Like she's a fucking problem. Like
I've seen clips of Cardi B too. I've also never watched a full Cardi B interview. So it's like they do get the same energy from me. Like,
but I mean, not just that's why I'm keep going. Not just you necessarily.
You call me out, bro.
I did because you was like it's okay, but I'm like, why the fuck isn't this bitch canceled too? I meant this woman canceled too.
Because dude, people don't care about men, bro. And it's like you know this, like.
But
people
it's not
don't care
even
about men.
Okay,
her victims were men, bro. That's why no one cares.
I think it's different.
She's poisoning the minds of women too. That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's not just men that's being affected by this thing.
I think it's also different when you're talking about like men being like weirdos. Let me not judge, but I think
why is it different?
No, I'm saying I think it's different when you're talking about like, you know, men going to a strip club type of shit compared to like, you know, if she was doing that shit to just random people, like if they're at a fucking workplace and she drugged somebody or something like that, like that's a way different. I feel like
that is a workplace.
I'm saying I'm saying in the eyes of the
And then she's
public is
taking
what I think.
motherfuckers back to the crib, not even in the strip club. What is
All right, all right, so Rookie, I'm gonna throw this shit back in your face, but that's fucking retarded.
Please,
I mean that with love. I mean that with love. You're my friend, but that's fucking retarded.
Canceled.
So like, let's say there was a girl who worked in some sort of industry. Like, let's say there was like a sex worker, right? And you end up drugging her, right? And you do whatever. That's a fucking problem. And if
That's
people
some sick
find
ass
out,
shit.
you should go to fucking jail. Nobody's gonna be like, well, she's a sex worker, right? Like nobody's gonna say that. I hope nobody's gonna say that. She's a fucking she's a human being. She's a human being, and she like you can't do that to other people. So like the fact that I went to a strip club does not give you the rights to drug my fucking drink.
I didn't say it was right.
There's no justifying this shit, bro. No matter where you're at, bro.
Listen,
I gotta be. My nigga Rook's talking about. I gotta be in a suit, clocked in at my job. And
No. Listen, I didn't say that it was right because of the scenario. What I'm saying is, I think that the reason why people don't trip out about the Cardi shit is because of the environment that it's in.
That thought is sick.
I'm gonna tell you. No, listen. I'm gonna throw this all out the trash. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. What it is that as a society, we have bullet marks, and the bullet marks, like we have like these ranges that our attention spans can hold at one time. So, like at one point in time, black people getting their ass kicked by the police was a big deal. So, a black person getting their ass kicked by a police was automatically going to get your attention. If a Chinese guy got his ass kicked by his police, nobody gives a fuck about the Chinese guy, right? You can argue that it's just as bad, but because he's Chinese, it doesn't fucking matter, right? And it's the same thing here. Historically, women have been abused by men. They've been lower in the hierarchy of society. So when a man takes advantage of a woman, when they drug or drink or they do whatever, it's viewed as a different thing. And since women doing it to men isn't something that we've been dealing with for a long time, it's not something that's been in our conscience. When we do hear about it, it doesn't get the same reaction. But that's a fucking problem. Because you shouldn't be driven by fucking narratives or what happened historically. Like, because you're not part of a group that has been historically abused or whatever, doesn't mean that we shouldn't give a fuck about you specifically as a human being. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Cardi B is a massive piece of shit, and it's crazy that this elevated her career. Like, this is like, that's fucking nuts. That is fucking nuts. Like, she committed a horrendous crime. Like, that is really, really fucking bad.
And the reason why I said the first time why that's dangerous, because a quote from the Bible, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. A lot of people don't fully understand that. At a certain point, it might not affect us, but our kids, that shit's gonna be normalized at a certain point. It's just like everything that was dangerous at one point became normal because X, Y, and Z, so many people jumped onto this idea. So at a certain point, if we keep canceling motherfuckers, right, it's gonna be okay for us to cancel anybody, right or wrong. If it don't get stopped at a certain point. Right?
I do agree that once they did it, that it opened this Pandora's box, right? Where like now it's a lot more
it's easier.
Yeah, it's easier, right? Like,
and there's more okay.
Yeah. I do agree with that. But I mean, Chris, I understand when you're saying that no one reads newspapers and Twitter's our newspapers, so it's like fuck. At the end of the day, it's still a private company, right? So like, it's not in the Constitution that Twitter, has to be there for news to hold the government accountable.
We're not talking about what would hold up in court. We're having a logical exercise, right? Like we're saying like what's right and what's wrong, like morally, right? So like, no, Twitter is a private company, so they're not held to the same standard as something that is a government entity. But Twitter's possession of our fucking time and our minds is intense, and its responsibility should reflect that. So,
and arguably, it's probably more powerful than the government for normal person, everyday person, anyway. So
There's an
Twitter,
argument there.
Twitter tell people stop paying their taxes. There's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers that stop paying their taxes. Like,
Twitter told people to buy GameStop.
like you get what I'm saying? Like,
I guess technically,
Niggas-
was it Reddit first and then Twitter? I don't know what it was, but I don't know what came
you
first.
can say they're interchangeable. They're
Yeah.
interchangeable. Like you can say Reddit, you can say Twitter, you can say Facebook. It's social media's presence in your life. Like niggas was out in the streets rioting because niggas on social media told them to. Like it's very it's extremely powerful. You know what I mean? Like
Or a dude giving a speech.
where like it the rules are changing, and since we're the first generation to be introduced to this shit, we're still trying to figure out how this shit works. So,
Do you think it'll ever get to a spot where it does become kind of like the newspaper,
what do you mean?
where like the power behind the newspapers because it's held there because it's supposed to like hold the government accountable. So like that's why you can't like you can't say certain things and the government can't do certain things in relation to the newspaper. So like do you think that like social
No,
media will ever get like that?
no. So the thing with the newspapers was that it was very centralized. Like I mean, every city had like 2 or 3 newspapers or whatever, but for the most part, it came from like there was like filters that controlled what was put in the newspapers. But when it comes to social media, really anybody is a reporter, and I don't
Yeah.
think there's any way to like filter all of it. You know what I mean? Like you can create a meme right now, post it on the internet, and like niggas like they get 90% of their information from memes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know how you stop that. Like there's no way. You know what I mean? Like I don't think as far as its role in society, like Twitter is way more powerful than the newspapers have ever been. Like
Big fact.
way more powerful. But
Big
in
fact.
terms of like the actual like how they're regulated, like we can't regulate it. You know, I don't think we could ever regulate it to the same level.
Yeah,
I
like,
mean-
are they gonna add the shit to that amendment? Freedom of social media and shit. Like,
Yeah, like,
freedom of the press, freedom of Twitter. I mean,
like really, like this is the part where like we should have been learned as a society to be more responsible in how we intake information. But unfortunately, we never did. And I get it. Like I remember back when I was in middle school, like the teacher was like, "You want to cite your sources in the encyclopedia?" I was like, "Hell, fuck no!" Right? Like I couldn't about to open this big ass book and like I wasn't about to do that shit. But now it's a lot easier, right? Like you read some shit on Facebook, like you can Google it and you can like they make these articles for stupid people. Like it'll take you less than 5 minutes to read them. But we won't do it. So we're kind of stuck. You know what I mean? Where we're just kind of reacting to the first thing that we see. Really, like my only hope is that baby David and his generation of kids see how fucking retarded we are and they learn from our mistakes. Because I think we're too far gone, nigga. Like we're too far gone.
We hella too far gone. Like I see that shit in real time, and I just be like,
Like it's to the point like you hit that age where it's just like I'm Dominican and I'm hard headed and all that shit. Like it just gets to a point where like I've expended so much energy. Like niggas will be saying some shit where I'm like, damn, that's so retarded. And like instead of like being like, yo, maybe you should think of it this way, I'll just be like, damn, that's crazy.
yeah. Now I don't even hit that no more. I just walk away. I just out of there. Like
I don't know.
I think we should do it, man. Like I have this one nigga like I could sit here and try to I work with him. I can sit here and break down like the political shit that he says, but I think the best way to summarize this nigga is that on multiple occasions, the first time he told me, I thought he was being ironic or trying to be funny, but he's told me this at least 3 different times. He's like, fuck, sometimes I look at the moon and it's so close, it looks like the Truman Show, like where it's like a picture in the sky. And like I'll be looking at it and I'm like, no. And he's told me this on 3 different occasions, so now I'm starting to think he actually believes this shit. And this is the person who's constantly coming up to me trying to tell me how the world works. It's just like, my nigga, you think the moon is drawn on a piece of paper. Like I can't. I can't. Like all right, cool, bro. Like that's what's up.
you got it, man.
That might be drugs though. He might be on some type
Yeah.
of drugs or the side effects of drugs. He might stop the drugs a long time ago, but his brain's so fried already, so it's too late.
It's hilarious.
His
Like,
brain's chalked.
I'm not about to start snitching, but
He say, but
like nigga, like I know what these drugs like. I don't think this guy is big. Like I think this guy is just he's not big.
he's not bait.
He's not baked. I think this guy he's a different type of baked. He's baked by life.
Bro, he done been through some shit.
Yeah, you can see it in his eyes. Like,
that man's snorting reality, bro.
Oh man! And on that note,
Yeah.
we're gonna conclude episode 49.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
Hey, thank y'all, man. It was a good episode. Hey, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what y'all think. We'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.